When coming up with this video idea, I didn't know I'd find out a few things that had caused me to not look at Demon Slayer the same way, ever. Most of you who watched Season 2 of Demon Slayer probably noticed the amazing graphics, fight scenes, drama, and comedy. But there are a few things that you probably overlooked that'd make your skin crawl a bit. For example, this scene is more nasty than you think. Want to know why? Then you should continue watching the video. Tengen Spanking Aoi. The first episode of the Entertainment District arc opens with the emotional visit of Tanjiro to the Rengoku's residence, followed by a funny yet weird scene of the Haganazuka chasing him with 2 kitchen knives in his hands and another 2 tied to his head. Okay. After some tears of confusion and a Rocky Balboa training montage, we see Tanjiro returning from a mission to hear screams of Aoi along with Kyo, Sumi, and Naho. Oh no, Aoi is being kidnapped by a huge man. White Knight Tanjiro is not having any of this, of course, and tries to headbutt Tengen with no success. After some back and forth with Tengen, he agrees to take the trio to a female-appropriate mission, and then comes one of the most misunderstood moments in the entire Demon Slayer history. A lot of people who watched this scene thought it was just Tengen being a big jerk, or even worse.
Okay, what? This guy, man.
Come on guys, he's a 23-year-old Chad with 3 hot wives that adore him. You think a grumpy 15-year-old is his thing? No, the secret is in what he said before the spanking that explains everything. Look closely. He says, "But remember this, don't dare defy me." Why is that important, you ask? Well, we need to remember that the Demon Slayer Corps is not just some random dudes in suits going around cutting demon heads off. This is an army, with a strict army hierarchy. Tengen is a Hashira, which means that besides the other Hashira and Ubuyashiki, his words have the biggest weight among the Corps, which means that if he says you become a dog, you become a dog. So after we established that, let me tell you this. Aoi got off easy, very easy. Spanking as a disciplinary action is nothing compared to what she could have coming her way. You see, Tengen is her superior, and they're in a time of war. Let's check the official punishment for disobeying an order from a superior during war, shall we? So over here it says that when we have the disobeying... Oh yeah, death. And yeah, I know it's the US code, but what makes you think it'll be any different in Japan during the Taisho period? If anything, it would be worse. So if Tengen wanted to, he could ask for everyone that was present there to be punished and pay with their lives. Next, we have Zenitsu almost accepting the pretty lady's candies. After Zenitsu and Inosuke didn't listen to Tengen asking them to stay in the cart, really again, some female members of the entertainment district offered Zenitsu to come to them, saying, "We have candy." Why is this weird, you ask? Because Zenitsu is a 14-year-old boy. He almost got inside a prostitute's house. I mean, I know this show is supposed to be for a more mature audience, but come on, Koyoharu, really? Yeah, Tengen stopped him, but the fact he actually wanted to go inside tells a lot about his character. I wonder if Nezuko knows, ha! Another weird fact is when Tengen sent his wives to the entertainment district. After all, we know now what the entertainment district is for. Let's go over the mission a little bit. Once they arrive at the Wisteria house, Tengen informs the group to be on the lookout for someone he can marry, which infuriates Zenitsu. He angrily tells Tengen to stop screwing around and to stop using members of the Corps to be his matchmakers. Tengen blows up and yells at him that he doesn't need a matchmaker since he's already married and that they're searching for his wife who failed to respond to his letters. Zenitsu doesn't believe him though and tells Tengen to stop telling him his fantasies, causing Tengen to angrily whack him in the face with the pile of letters. Tanjiro begins to sift through the letters, noticing the large quantity, and comments that she must be a fast writer, to which Tengen clarifies that the large quantity is due to the fact that he has 3 wives. Upon hearing this, Zenitsu's head explodes with rage, thinking that Tengen is lying, and he demands to know how he could have 3 wives. Tengen gets angry at these remarks and punches Zenitsu in the stomach, which is one of the funniest scenes in the entire show. What's not mentioned is the fact that Tengen sent his wives to infiltrate the district, meaning that they need to satisfy their customers, and by the amount of letters, we can assume that they were there for at least a few months. I don't know, man. Sending your wives to a mission that requires them to get paid for giving entertainment to other men just doesn't seem right. But hey, we're talking about the fate of humanity, so yay, I guess? Next, Zenitsu said he'd become the best Oiran in the house. But An Oiran is, well, an Oiran. Zenitsu is the last one of the trio to be sold to a house in the district. Angry from Tengen saying to the head of the house that they can take him and give him to clean toilets or something, he starts to play the shamisen, and we learn that his super hearing is amazing for playing musical instruments as well. But the cool part is ending with a weird promise by Zenitsu saying, "I swear I'll become the #1 Oiran in Yoshiwara."
What?
Really, dude? You'll prove your worth to Tengen by being the best candy giver in all of Yoshiwara?
What the f?
The entertainment district is destroyed after the final battle. When the gang fought Daki and Gyotaro, they wreaked havoc everywhere. But nothing comes close to the final battle, where Gyotaro exploded in a last effort to do some damage to Tengen and Tanjiro. Just look at the buildings. The entire province is gone. Which is cool and all, but imagine being the government of Japan hearing that an entire town exploded. There is a possibility that the government is ignoring the existence of demons and demon slayers in order not to cause itself trouble during wartime. The show is probably set during World War I, but with this amount of damage, I don't think they could keep ignoring it. It would be funny though to see our team trying to get away from military officials trying to figure out what the hell went on there. Next is Gyotaro wishing a bright future for his sister. After Gyotaro and Daki are defeated, we see their entire story from the older brother's perspective. Gyotaro recalls his past as a human born in the Kurimise to a prostitute mother. Before she died from syphilis, his mother tried to kill him many times, even after his younger sister was born. Due to his appearance, his voice, and lack of hygiene, the young Gyotaro was bullied and detested by everyone he met. Things began to change after his sister was born though, as her beauty dismissed his inferiority complex, and he used his ugliness plus his newfound fighting skills to become an efficient debt collector. However, the good fortune wouldn't last for the siblings. When Ume turned 13, she blinded a samurai with a comb, and was subsequently burned alive for her crime. Having been away on his job at the time, Gyotaro returned to find her barely alive, and hugged her as she clinged to life. He cursed the gods to return his sister and for treating them cruelly, before he was attacked by the same samurai. The samurai slashes Gyotaro from behind, trying to get him to bleed out as he chats with one of the brothel managers. The manager brazenly calls Gyotaro a nuisance and a brute for harassing the locals of the district before expressing her pity at having lost Ume as a courtesan. But before the samurai could finish him off, Gyotaro viciously kills the manager and berates the samurai for having a lavish lifestyle before gruesomely killing him as well, by snapping his katana and slicing his head in half with his sickle. As Gyotaro tries to find help for him and his sister, no one would help them due to their reputation and circumstances. He trudges on through the street until he ultimately collapses and starts to bleed out on the floor as snow begins to fall. The siblings lay on the floor dying until they're discovered by one of the upper ranks, who offers to turn them into demons. Gyotaro adamantly proclaims that he would become a demon again, no matter how many times he's reborn, wanting to always bring fear as Gyotaro the debt collector. But as for his sister, he said that he wished she had a better life, and when he described the better life he had in mind, you can really see how hard their lives were. He wishes her to become an Oiran and find a husband so she can start a family. However, an Oiran is a high-level escort, which means that you need to start low and work your way up, so to speak. Their lives were so hard, he wished his sister to be with probably hundreds of men, just to get food and shelter, to have the chance to become an Oiran, so that she could be bought by a rich man and have a family. This was the reality back then. Food was so scarce, and they had to do stuff that we today continue extreme just to survive. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And if I ruined the show for you, please leave a comment to tell me how. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.